Just, proud of the team getting down 14 points. It's just first half we played everybody except for Ahmad Rand, had an 8-point lead with a chance to push him out. And for some reason, man, we just can't get the group that we need to get to push the lead out. I subbed Damian Ball in. I subbed some more guys off the bench late to make a push because he was fresh. And we just couldn't push it away. That group that was out there, they came all the way back and cut the lead. And the second half, it was just a dogfight, man. And then we got down with a certain group as well, about 14 points. But I knew exactly what to go to, and I needed Alex to play like that. That's the Alex I'm used to seeing since the Lester Middle School days, East High School days. That's the way he used to will our teams to a win. With his energy, it was contagious. Everybody else kind of came right behind him, but it wasn't an offensive game that was going to get us going. I did like the stuff that I saw on the offensive end. We're just missing more reads than we should because it's new. But the defense is what carried us, man. That was championship defense for about 5 minutes there.
We'll start with Isaac.
Hey, Coach, on that final play, you decided to go small and leave your rim protector and Musa Cisse on the bench. Kind of talk us through that thinking.
Yeah, well, Musa was playing the pick and roll kind of high, and Caleb Murphy was just driving around him. Obviously, Alex Lomax could have come over and taken the charge while he was on the 5-man, but got kind of caught up in the move. But we were telling Musa to back up and let him come to him. And we didn't want that to happen again because he was losing that foot race with Caleb Murphy, who was having a great game. He's a great player, but he hadn't had a game of that magnitude until now. And he had it going, so we put DJ out there to be able to switch the pick and roll and keep him in front of him.
Christian?
Coach, I know this was the first game in the new offense, but being over a third of the way through the season and still having some offensive struggles and everything not being perfect at this point, how much more difficult does it get to find an offensive identity as the season goes on?
No, I think that what we have now we're going to stick with, man. We're just going to make wrinkles. It's just the guys, teams are going to make adjustments on everything that we run. And we just got to keep hanging our hat on the defensive end, push fast break. The thing that I'm most disappointed with are fast break points, man. We cannot get enough fast breaks. We got 25 tonight, but I think we got more in us. We're a very fast team. We have to take advantage of it. And at the end of the game is where most of those fast break points came. We have to figure out a way not to ever set up, to just get out and run, man, and make it a fast break game the whole game for us. And then when we have to set up to execute our offense.
Jeff?
Yep, Penny. How important was Alex when he comes in? You're down 10. That first steal where he's then knocked into the stanchion. It felt like that was a moment that sort of epitomized what he was about tonight.
Yeah, Alex has kind of renewed his mind on the game. Sitting out that Tulsa game and watching what was going on with the team, he kind of understands now, looking at it from the sideline, how he's so important to the team. And that play is a play that I've seen him do his whole entire life. Really, he just hasn't been playing to that level, and we've been trying to get him. When we change the defensive schemes, it fits more of his game because it's what I've always run my whole entire career with him. And he flourished in it and made some big steals and some big plays and finished that one layup in the free throw.
Terry?
Hey, what's up, Coach?
What's going on, Terry?
Hey, man, it seemed like your team didn't get the energy until they went down 12 points, and then they made that run, and then the defense triggered the offense. Why do you think it takes that much adversity for them to start clicking and doing what you need them to do?
I just don't think there's 10 guys that are in the rotation, starters plus bench, that are really locked in on what's going on. That's all I can say. That's why when we went on the run, we shortened the rotation and kept it short. So they just taught me a lesson, man. Just can't play everybody. I was trying to have a 10-man rotation with us pressing and getting after people. We shortened that to like 7. And, that's just what it seemed like that's what we have to do, man. It's not – we're giving guys that we know that can help us opportunities, man, and then it's at home. And I know it's a crazy environment with no fans. It's like you're playing a scrimmage. Some guys just aren't able to muster up what they need to muster up in a game like that. And some guys are. And I'm just happy that the guys that were able to do it did it tonight.
Danielle?
Penny, you mentioned being disappointed a little bit in the fast break points, but as far as other aspects of the offense, did you see kind of what you wanted to see for the most part, or what did you like, what did you not like about what you saw tonight?
Well, I liked the execution early, and then they made the adjustment, and we didn't make the adjustment. They started really overplaying the elbows, which I figured they would do, and then we just have to be smart enough to put the ball down, and our bigs are good enough to go around their bigs, and we just have to do that. We have to take more advantage of it. It was the first game. We'll go back and watch tape. I kind of watched it in live first, but I already know the wrinkles that we're going to put on the same play when they start doing that, and we're going to keep getting better. As long as our defense stays where it is, our offense is going to catch up, I promise.
Jason?
Hey, Penny, it seems like there's two schools of thought after a game like this. On one side, you've got a win as a win. On the other side, you've got, you had to sort of scratch and claw at home against a team, that didn't have Alexis Yetna dressed out. So where do you fall on that spectrum?
I don't really look at it in a negative fashion because we haven't had DeAndre Williams all year, and we lost some games. Some close games to Auburn. I can say, hey, we didn't have DeAndre Williams against Auburn. We have him, then we win that game. It is what it is, man. Just because a player's out doesn't mean that the other players didn't show up. Their freshman came and played big. He doesn't score like that. So he took up for Alexis Yetna's points in his absence and did a great job. David Collins, who is their best player, had 4 points tonight. We did our job on him. It was just the freshman got off. And then we had some personnel issues with number 13. We had to know where he was, and he got 3 threes in the first half. Or 2 in the first half, 1 in the second half, and then we shut that down. It was one player that really got off tonight, and that was Caleb Murphy. And we're just missing the reads and just being tough and shying away from contact on the offensive end. But to answer your question, I mean, any team can beat you at any given time if you're not playing the right way. And like I said, they're playing a certain amount of guys and sticking with their rotation. Those guys are coming in making winning plays. You can't. I'll take the win after that versus the loss for sure.
Christian?
Coach, I know you've talked about shortening the rotation a couple times this year, and like you said, you did it tonight, went down to 7 at the end of the game. Is that something that we can expect to be the new norm? Because like you said, trying to go 9 or 10 deep, there's some guys that are coming in and just not impacting the game.
Yeah, it just is what it is. You want everybody to be able to go out there because we feel like we got 10 starters. Like I said, this culture, man, of playing in these empty gyms, if you guys aren't noticing it around the country, it's really tough no matter who you're playing. It's difficult, man. And this team has not been able to put it together yet, but in stretches. We got an 8-point lead ready to knock them out, and then we let them back in the game. That's pretty much happened to us a lot of games that we've lost. And we just can't continue to do that. We have to be able to give them the blow, that knockout blow.
Terry?
Hey, Coach, I know it's a short sample size, but how did you feel with the comfort and the fluid of the offense just in this size? And the second part of the question, who's the youngest on this team so we can nickname them Simple?
Well, that's funny. We just missed so many reads, man. When the guys see this game of running the offense for the first time, and they'll know exactly what it is. They'll know that where the openings are. It'll just be so glaring. We just need to see tape. We're going to get better and better each game. We went to the UCLA set at the end, and it worked. We got DeAndre that missed the layup. We got Lester that made an open 3 right after that. And it's coming, man. I'm feeling that this is something that they like better. And our elbow guys have to be better with the ball. That was Musa, and that was DeAndre, that was Lance, and that was Malcolm. They got to be better and stronger with the balls and understand, just play the game. You don't have to run the set every time. If they're overplaying, you just drive around them and get a layup. There's nobody down there. So obviously they want to do well, and it didn't happen. I don't even know who's the youngest guy on the team. Alex, who's the youngest guy on the team? Musa. That's Simba.
2 more. Danielle?
And you mentioned, being in a lot of these tight games lately, and more often than not, at the beginning of the season, you were losing them. But it seemed like Tulane and tonight, the 2 most recent ones were when you were able to pull it out. Does that give you any sort of confidence? Or is that a fluke? Is that because you think guys are finally kind of getting some of that mental toughness that you're talking about?
I think the group that I had on the floor had the mental toughness. And I feel like if that group played for 32 minutes, each one of those guys, then I feel like we win the game by 20. You know what I mean? It's just the subbing. The guys aren't coming in doing their part. It just is what it is. If that group that played, that outscored them that much in that possession, in that little time frame, if they play more minutes together, that group, then we blow South Florida out. And that's how I look at it. So I just have to do a better job of understanding those guys that fought at the end are the guys that don't want to lose. Those are the guys that you play more minutes, and I bet you the outcome is different.
Last question, Jason.
Felt like DeAndre was everywhere in that last, say, 7 minutes or so. You know, I think he had 4 steals over that stretch, a few rebounds, a block or two, you know, a few points. I mean, we're talking a lot about Alo, but DeAndre was huge there, right?
No, those two guys, they're the lifeline of this team. And then you add Lester in there with that as well. But those two guys, they took their games to the next level. They pulled each other up to that level, and then the 3 other guys that were on the floor with them at whatever time, they came on with it. Those 2 guys are crucial, and that's what we needed. We needed 2 people that could get the other 3 guys going, and once it finally got going, man, it looked really good. Those stretches that we've had during the games where we look really good, look really well offensively, and then we look really good defensively, it's kind of like the same group. So I'm starting to understand which guys are which, and it just has to be a shorter rotation, man. It's not personal. I think I just got to get that group that I saw tonight. It's going to be a group that's on the floor because they showed me desperation. They showed me playing for one another. They showed me that they would play to win. They were playing to win.